there, guys?
Well, you definitely need a container for that. You might not need a flat plane, but the container definitely.
Okay, I mean, the OBS is now saying we're connected perfectly, so I think I've managed to troubleshoot it.
Yeah, we're live.
Excellent.
I can see it.
Yeah, I don't know how much of the previous bit went out live, so should I do another intro? Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and we are joined by Refracted Curvature, Righteous Voice. Let's try that again. Righteous Force, Arwin, the Adam Meekin, Brian's Logic, and a whole bunch of people in Discord. Welcome, one and all.
Hello. Good to see you all on YouTube.
Good afternoon.
So glad that we could make it after all.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I'll know what to do next time, though. Just stop the broadcast, wait 10 seconds, and then start it again. Anywho, not what I was expecting technical issues from YouTube this morning, but we're halfway through housekeeping, and we are recording all of this nonsense that we've had to endure while you were just sat there looking at a whirly world, presumably live. We'll carry on with housekeeping. Any single viable hypothesis from any of the fields of astronomy, cosmology, or astrophysics?
Not yet.
Well, if you're a heliocentrist trying to describe a phenomenon, you'll need a plane of reference for that.
Well, wouldn't they have to be physics?
When you say physics, do you mean physical?
Well, yeah, I mean, they'd have to prove that they're dealing with the physical even before they could even attempt to do anything, wouldn't they? They'd have to at least get that much. How would you form a correct scientific hypothesis without the physical? How would you do it? But I know QE would say that light is technically physical because it's energy, but they don't know what they're dealing with. So how could they ever produce a correct scientific hypothesis? I don't see how that's possible.
Shout out to Shatner's
It's
Bassoon,
not tangible.
who's been a member for a very long time, 31 months. It's this bloody amateur hour here today. Please share the show. How dare you? This is the height of professionalism, I'll have you know.
Well, if the subject matter we were dealing in was if the stars are physical, that might be the best route to take. But this is a flat Earth topic, right?
Who are you asking?
Brian.
Why you ask me, John? Say that again, sorry.
Well, if we were having a debate on whether the stars are physical, that would be a great position to take. But this is a flat Earth debate. Wouldn't it, just to get to the heart of their problem, be as quick to say that if you're going to describe your phenomenon, you'll need a plane of reference for that?
Well, yeah. I mean, they can't deny the plane of reference. So, but that I'm talking about more from their point of view. For them, like us to ask them to produce a valid scientific hypothesis is it's not. I wouldn't say unfair because obviously they are claiming to be science, or someone claims they're science. But our first question would be, what are they? You know what I mean? Because that's what they'd have to validate what they are before they could even form a hypothesis. If you know what I mean? Right. Can you knock on them? You know, are they physical things you can hit? You know what I mean? What's going on there? You know, because if you don't know anything about them, then how are you going to? You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking stupid, but it just makes no sense.
You're right. You're right. But I'm saying when they try to describe what they are, they're going to use a plane of reference.
Well, yeah, they can't not use a plane of reference because if they're going to describe the positions they're in and how and their movements in relation to each other and to us, even within their paradigm, they're going to require a plane of reference. That's true. That's correct. But as far as what they are, you know, sorry, Adam.
This was I don't know if anybody saw Sleeping Warriors presentation on Flatsoid last night, but that was.
I watched it today. That's why I'm asking that question.
Yeah, that was kind of one of the good points Tony made. How do you go? How do you assume a force when the only thing you actually measure is a change in angular position and the angular size of something. How do you invoke a force from that? Because that's what they're doing: weights, forces, dimensions. When the only thing they've got is a change in angular position, and as John refractive curvature says, taken from a flat plane of reference. It's quite a leap.
Exactly. John's
Absolutely.
question is actually.
No, they're both good questions, is what I'm saying. But like, even if they try to describe them as physical, they're going to need a plane of reference for that.
Indeedy.
Yeah, I agree.
Right, we do actually have a video to cover, and if you were around yesterday, oh, go on.
Well, Nathan, we could review Glowbusters from last Sunday since QE refuses to do it.
Why would QE refuse to do anything of the sort?
I don't know why.
I think he's bored with them.
He's bored with Globebusters.
That was the impression he gave off, that he was getting bored with their nonsense.
I'm getting bored with trying to get this video to stay on screen. It's about the 5th attempt. Right, let's just try this once more time. There we go. I think I'm all set. Okay, so nice to share a friendly, sort of. This video has been brought to you by Jeranism. So, as always, in the vague hope that we would get algorithmic love from Jeran, were to respond to our response to his, what would you call it, moderation of this debate between Roohif and Nick. So go and let him know at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me. There is a link whizzing its way by in the live stream chat right now. So just click on the link and yeah, basically tell him we've covered this video. Hopefully he'll respond and say, yeah, thanks for covering my video and sending people algorithmically in my way, giving me the views. Here's a link to your video because I've got some words to say about you too. We should see, we should hope. Anyway, go and let him know at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I thought you was about to start with it. I was going to say, before you do, obviously I told Roohif we were likely to cover this. So he's on Flat Earth. I said, is it worth a review video? He said, yeah, on Flat Earth debate, sure. If you do, tell Nathan to go easy on the flurfer. At the end, he says it was his first live debate and he was really unprepared. He was all bluster before the debate, but by the end, I actually felt sorry for him. See how that turns out.
So those were.
I invited Roofy on in case he wanted to come defend himself.
To preface us critiquing his debate with this Nick guy by poisoning the well slightly.
You know, I mean, yes, obviously.
Okay.
Anti-flat earthers will be anti-flat earthers.
Big and Owen?
Anti-flat earthers will be anti-flat earthers. Of course they will do that, Nathan.
Alrighty. So we're going to get right into it. Check it out. Hopefully the sound's good level.
Good. So can I share? One sec.
Yep.
Can I say something, Nathan?
Cool.
No.
So I did ask several times what you meant by curving atmospheric compression. So compression due to atmosphere is a refraction effect. So you have a difference in gradient between the top of an object and the bottom of an object. So each ray of light might be this far apart, but when it reaches you, it might be closer and it appears compressed. Is that what you mean by atmospheric compression?
Should I critique him based on the fact that rays don't exist? And he's postulating how he's describing what rays might be when rays aren't real? That seems a bit unreasonable.
Well, also to
Yes.
that, you're talking about deviation from horizontal. There is no horizontal on the globe.
While the guy, Nick, is saying atmospheric compression. That would involve sphere shape there. So
I don't know. I don't understand the statement. I know the clock's covering it, so I'm just trying to. atmospheric compression is a real phenomenon. So why does it never, I assume, happen? Is it, or when objects are shrinking in the distance? Well, it does. Shout out Ranty. Yeah, Panda Boat, Shark Boat. Some of the hotels we analysed back in the day. That's exactly what happens. You get compression.
Yeah,
The
red
more
philosophy.
compression occurs, is the more compression you get, that is caused by the greater the limitation to the deck. So you take some of the hotels, you'll see that the higher floors all look very similar, but the lower floors, that's where you'll start to see the effects of compression as the limitation, how much data is coming in that smaller angle because of the effect of the limitation of the deck. I'm not.
Well, is it not known as stooping officially? Would that not be just stooping?
No, this is just compression. So the amount of information that's in there, I say you can refer it to Panda Boat is the one Ranty did. It's a really nice one. It's a boat with stripes on, and you can see how the stripes get thinner as you go down, even though they're not when you look at the actual straight picture of the boat. And same with hotels, like I say, with the different floors. You can see that compression exhibited. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's always there. I mean, if your line of sight is not ridiculously high above the water, and you're looking at something across water, a plane of water. I mean, with temperature stuff and air pressure stuff going on, like in the distance, not only will you have angular size change, but you will, when you're talking about becoming the horizon, something, being close to the horizon, whatever. I don't see how you can't not have it. You know what I mean? I'd say it's basically always there at different degrees, but it's always there at some degree, because it's not just the angular size of something that stops you from being able to view it correctly. Although, yeah, I understand that is the main thing. I have never not seen that. I have a super zoom camera. I have never not seen that effect in the distance. It's always there. Whether it be happening because of inferior mirage, giving the impression of it happening, either way, it's the same thing. It's the object being squashed. In the further something is from you, in a straight line, especially as much of a horizontal as possible, then the more it's going to look that way. That was my experience with it, being out on the water with a camera.
This atmospheric compression is a phenomenon.
Okay. Let me see. So does that come through the new share? There we go. Do you mean something like this, where the street lights appear to go down?
Well, not
in
only
the
that,
distance?
yeah. I mean, boats, ships, whatever, driving in the distance.
Okay. So I did ask you 6 times what you meant, and I showed it on the screen. I'm trying to understand what you mean. This is what I think you mean, is that a row of streetlights should curve downwards. So that's what I've prepared for.
That's not compression. That's not compression.
No. Go ahead,
Well,
Adam. You got that before I couldn't get off my mook quick enough. Go ahead, Adam.
Okay, so you can have a perspective photo like that where there probably isn't any actual compression. Compression is what I described earlier. As you see, the lights aren't going to have limitation to the deck in there. You're fine. So you've just got perspective. So compression, like I said, is where you've got limitation, the amount of data, and you'll get that kind of squashing at the lower points, closer to the deck. So I think we've got Roohif trying to lead somebody who doesn't know what he's really on about. I think that's why he laughed.
Let me ask you a couple of questions as Roohif is trying to position it towards his opponent. I'll just do the same with you, Adam the Baller. So, just out of interest, Adam, Ball Earth Believer, you coincidentally have been to this promenade or whatever it is, haven't you, Adam? Say yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And you know how big this lamppost is, don't you, in feet?
Oh, exactly, yeah.
How big is this lamppost in feet, Adam?
It's 30 feet.
Bloody hell. Okay.
No. Yeah, they're huge. You've not
Okay.
been. You
No,
said they're
that's
not
fine.
very
That's
tall.
fine. It doesn't
I've
matter.
been. You haven't.
It's arbitrary. It's arbitrary. Okay, 30 feet. Fine.
Mm.
Just out of interest, as I highlight, let's just get this a little bit bigger on screen for the audience as I do it. This one's 30 feet, the one in the near foreground, right?
Yeah.
What about the one behind it? How big's that?
Well, that's not quite 30 foot.
Oh, is it not?
No, that's 30 foot.
30 foot. What
Yeah.
about this one behind that?
Oh, that one's 30 foot.
Oh, hold on a second. That doesn't make any sense because these are very much different sized lampposts in this picture, aren't they, Adam? Why do you keep
Yeah.
saying 30 feet?
Because they're all low because of Earth curve.
Oh, I see. So they're all 30 feet, but they're going down around a bend, like Roohif inferred a moment ago.
Yeah.
I see.
Well,
All 30 feet, but curving around Earth. Hashtag
Yeah.
shit shrinks.
No, I don't invoke
Roohif.
perspective. I'm not using perspective. The reason that they're low, each one's a little bit lower, is because each one's a little bit further on the curve.
I see. So unlike this depiction behind MC2, oh, it's gone. I won't make the example. We'll just play on.
Hang on.
Go ahead,
I just
Brian.
want to point out that Roohif knows exactly what this guy is talking about, this guy Nick. Roohif is fully aware of what this is. He's been aware of it for years since we all pointed it out to him years ago. And I'm sure he was shown it time after time back 2016 era. Right? He's well aware of what this is. Ranty showed it to him. He's been shown it loads of times. He's just plain dumb. That's all he's doing. And putting the guy in a position. Well, it's the guy's fault as well for not having an example there on hand. But he shouldn't have to have an example, as Roohif is fully aware of what this is. It's not as if it's a new claim to Roohif. He's heard it lots of times. And he's seen exactly what the guy is talking about. Even though atmospheric compression is not the way to term it. It doesn't matter. Roohif is fully aware of what he's talking about. He's just plain dumb.
Just as a quick note, if you're trying to claim any kind of refractive effect, it can only be just demonstrated on a flat plane, as Andrew Thomas Young will clearly cite.
Indeed. Back in the day before Route 90 had been built, and Andrew Thomas Young started referencing how all refraction measurements have to be in regards to a flat plane. That's obviously how it's all done. We didn't take that and run with it for the flat earth proof it is. I'm glad we can appreciate and reflect on how Andrew Thomas Young must use a flat plane when describing actual refractive effects mathematically, as opposed to 7/6 geometric considerations, terrestrial refraction. Right on, John. Highway 90's a beautiful thing, otherwise known as Route 90.
Nah, it started out Route 90, but then it was discovered especially how logistically ideal it actually turned out to be, even though it was always kind of poo-pooed, like, oh, that dusty old road in the middle of nowhere. But it turned out to be super great, and that's when they turned it into a highway. And
No, it runs into Highway 180.
It does. T-junction.
Is that
just
what you mean?
saying, it started out a dusty old road.
Yes.
Now it's
Everything
Okay.
shrinks in the
We got
distance.
that.
It never
We got
curves
that.
over.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you a minute from here to go ahead and answer that.
Yeah, it does. The end.
That's it?
Yep.
That's all you got.
It does curve. So these pylons are equally spaced.
And it'll be repeated over and over again ad nauseum.
That's not a prediction. That's natural law.
Okay, hold on. Just so you're aware, we have managed to get live again. So whether or not it'll tail into the last recording, it's still giving me a whirly whirl. We'll see. Hopefully it'll be decent this time. If you are still with us live, hopefully it's on the same broadcast. As I've just found out from my wife, who's got her ear to the social network when it comes to these things, apparently people are having general internet issues with Virgin Media. Not that I'm bad-mouthing them, they've been excellent for many years. However, today we're having internet issues. It's not actually my computer to blame, which it typically is. So there we go. We can actually continue. I'll have to start another recording though, so I'll do that now. Okay. So this is now the start of a recording, so I might as well do a little intro. So welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, and join button to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you're here because you're joining us on the continuation of a live stream that's been very interrupted, please share the show. Obviously, we've got about 50 people still watching. No, 60 people, so it's rapidly increasing as the stream is reconnected. Please share the show, smash it out there. It is a continuation of that live stream, so hopefully, albeit with breaks inside it, that live stream will be one section. This will be the second part of a recording that I accidentally ended and didn't intend to, so that's embarrassing. But yeah, we are joined by Brian's Logic, Arwin, the Adam Meakin, Righteous Force, Refracted Curvature, Chocolate Sane, and a whole bunch of people in Discord. So, although it's going to be strange for the people watching live, welcome one and all.
Woohoo! Welcome back. Let's do this.
Hey. Yo. Can you guys hear me?
We can.
Hey, Chocolate, welcome back, man.
We can hear
Where have you
you,
been?
and the stream says it's excellent connection, so I can only assume that I'm having periodic internet connection problems, i.e. it's dropping the line, but not fully dropping the stream. So then when I stop the stream, reschedule it quickly because I'm quick with my fingers, and then reconnect the stream, connected to the right original stream that I was using, it can actually connect and is giving me 10,000 kbps, which is fantastic. But then as soon as there's a problem, it drops. I'll just have to repeat that process for an hour until, thank God, this stream's finally over. Anyway, we're if you're watching the recording, we were doing on the last recording, if you were watching it, Jeranism, and we'll continue. But I've got to do all the same YouTube stuff. So please go and let Jeran know at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me. There is a link going by in the live stream. But if you're a moderator, please put this in the Uncut and After Show video so that people can do the same if you're watching it on the recorded version. Not that it's uncut. Not that this might even have an after show. God, what a complete shambles. Please smash the super chat. It's so professional around here today. Anyway, as I say, there's a link going by in the live stream chat right now, so you can go and let Jeran know that we've covered his video and responded to Roohif and Nick. These two people are debating. So we will continue with the critique at long last after that minor interruption. Let's do it. Please don't ask a question. Please don't do it. Don't do it.
Just could you get back to
my follow up on that,
God.
Nick? Are you good?
So,
go on, Adam. You were determined to ruin that complete segue that I did whilst pressing a million buttons and had it completely fluid. It was perfect, even with jokes about how terrible it was. Go ahead.
I know, but it was for a reason. The last bit ended, and I don't want to miss it because Roofy's last comment even left Jeran dumbstruck as to what he's just said is his proof. Because it looks curved. That's Earth curve is what I'm hearing. And I just wanted to, if we could just go back to that bit, because that just seemed...
It does curve. So these pylons are equally spaced, and they curve.
Okay. Any follow up on that, Nick? Are you good?
So it's not curve. It's just look like it's curving. Okay. If you go higher, it is flattened out, and you'll see that it's flattened out. That's just like, the phenomenon where it looks like it's curving, like even Lake Positron does the same thing. Go higher, get a little higher. It will flatten out.
Okay, so you asked to see a curve. I showed you it curving, and now you're dismissing it.
I am dismissing it.
Okay.
If I hold up a ruler and wiggle it whilst moving it up and down, I can make the ruler look like it's bending. So if I say you wanted the ruler to bend, that's solid and wooden and doesn't bend, it would fracture and shatter. Well, here it is bending. I mean, it's merely looking like it's bending, but what do you want? You asked for a bendy ruler, here's the bendy ruler. Why aren't you satisfied? Because the assertion that this is Earth curvature comes with a physical geometric limitation at 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet, as asserted in your mathematics, that ignores the fact that these items are getting smaller regardless of their feet and inches or meters value remaining the same as it does in your maths. This is very 2015, Roohif. And while you might feel smug and get a minor amount of pain relief out of getting one over on some numpty, it doesn't change the fact this has been addressed years ago. It's absolutely pathetic.
Okay. Next question.
Plus
Okay. No, it's your.
Okay. Aren't you smart? Next question. Where's perspective in your Earth curve maths that this assertion comes from? There you go. There's a question
Also,
for you, Roofy. Answers on a postcard. Because you won't be coming
Also,
here
the
to tell
Earth
us.
curve-
My bad. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say also the Earth curve maths utilizes surface level as a flat plane as well as eye level as a flat plane. How do you get Earth curve from a flat plane?
Okay, for all of the rest of the panel, if you are going to irritate me by interrupting, do it like that so that you get a massive smile out of me at the end of it. That's right, John. You're going to need a flat Earth for it regardless, aren't you? Why am I getting so irritated?
Well, it seems to be the Roohif, the only tactic he can employ, as Arwen pointed out, it's almost natural law, is that he can hold up one flat Earth proof against another flat Earth proof and then just claim it's a globe arbitrarily at the end.
Turn to give him a question. Go ahead.
My question is a geometry question. It's about measuring drop due to curvature. So I said you are on top of a mountain which has an elevation of 1,000 feet. You're looking across a valley to another mountain 30 miles away, which also has an elevation. Oh, hang on. Also has an elevation.
Oh, did you want that? I'm sorry.
Feet.
Did you want to share?
You're ruining his hijacking of perspective there, Jeran, if you're interrupting him. Because what he's asking him is precisely what we just covered, isn't it? So the other mountains also got a value of 1,000 feet. Oh, right, but it's far away, isn't it? Like on the Lake Pontchartrain video, stuff gets smaller into the distance, but we are going to be ascribing it 1,000 feet for Roohif's pathetic pain relief. A la 2015, taken apart by us argument that he feels the need to perpetuate here. Sorry, did you forget about the title we ascribed to this mathematics, where you ascribe the mountain 1,000 feet value that won't change with distance, Roohif? It's got an entire title. Begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective hijacking Earth curve mathematics. So you're going to lay it right out for him, with a bit of interruption from Jeran at the key moment that we were critiquing, the fact that the mountain's going to be 1,000 feet. All right. What about if it's 1,000,000 miles away? How many feet is it then? Oh, still 1,000 feet. All right, but wouldn't you infer that it would be too small to see at that distance, 1,000,000 miles? No, it's only blocked by the Earth curve.
Well, how did he know it was 1,000 feet? How did he calculate the height?
Boom. I don't know. How would one assert the elevation of a mountain above sea level to give it in feet, John? How would one go about such a task?
Well, you would take the angle off of plane of reference. Oh, like Alberuni.
Like Alberuni, right. So you're going to need a flat Earth for that 1,000 feet that you've inferred, Roohif. Oh, how the pain relief was shattered so quickly when we looked at this.
Sure.
What was it you said as a preamble poisoning the well fallacy there, Roohif? Don't be too hard on the fluff. Au contraire, Roofy. Oh, no. That little attempt at a deflection away from your pathetic pain relief attempt didn't work. No, we're very much critiquing your 2015 taken apart by us. That's why you're not here, you blatant coward. And you're in front of this numpty. Well, take it easy on the numpty. No, I don't care about the numpty. I've forgotten his name already, Roohif. You, on the other hand, need to use these 2015 arguments for pain relief, in spite of the fact that we've given a title to the fallacy that you're employing. We've even given the calculation a name too, haven't we, Roofy? Begging the question, that would be to assume that we're on a sphere with a little curve. Proof of nothing. That's because begging the question don't prove nothing, Roofy. Perspective hijacking, aka hashtag shit shrinks. Earth curve calculation. What's that you were saying? It's got to be 1,000 feet in this maths, right, Roofy? No, mate. You're pathetic.
No, I'm reading it off.
Okay, good.
My screen changed.
Oh, this put a little smile to Roofy's face when he got one over on this dude. Should we take it easy on him while we let you have your little pain relief smile? Oh, you've already got the 1,000 feet in. Nobody's noticed. Right, Roofy? Pathetic. Go ahead, whoever that was.
Yeah, sorry. I tried to get it in before you press play again. The question I really want to have answered is, if these pylons, whatever, are curving away from the observer, then that means they have to be going over some kind of a physical geometric location. If they're not doing that, well, I don't know what you'd call it, a horizon maybe? Because if they're not doing that, then they're not curving. It's that simple.
Do you mean the bridge that's a roller coaster? In his...
Yeah.
This is 2023. And in a debate against what looks like a newbie flat earther, he's brought Lake Pontchartrain. This is his number one, Lake Pontchartrain, to prove that the Earth's a ball. This is what Roohif's bringing. Brought Lake Pontchartrain with the perverted picture of Reds, and now a thought experiment based on perspective hijacking. It's not 2017, Roofy. This is shameful from you.
If you measured the angle to that mountain with a theodolite, what would you expect that angle to be if the Earth is a globe? Show your work.
Okay,
Angle.
so
Show your work. Sorry.
Sorry, my question is part of our housekeeping, Roohif. What the hell? How do you get an elevation angle from a curved surface? Roohif, I'll just answer. You don't! You're asking about angles to things. You're going to have to establish Earth as flat to do that angle, Roohif. Are you insane? Oh no, you're not insane! That's why you're in front of him, you abject coward! Because this shite would be taken apart at its base level and its requirement for a flat Earth. To get the angle right, Roofy? That's why people don't come here anymore. Roohif won't get any pain relief. Putting this garbage from 2015 to this man gives him a little wry smile. That's wiped straight off your stupid face, isn't it, by us, Roohif? When you come here and put that garbage to us. Yeah? How'd you get the angle? Off a globe? Oh, we'll just talk about the angle that we've already got and his measurements that you reverse the burden with. No, brushing over the fact that you'll need a flat Earth for the angle, Roohif.
Did he show his
Can
work?
I,
Did he show his work to get the angle he was talking about in the first place?
I was going to go on to that. You like Minds, Chocolate. Did you show your work for the angle acquisition there, Roofy? I think you better, because you're going to need a flat Earth for
he
it.
does.
I bet when he does,
I'm trying to
he
say
gives it
something.
an orthographic view.
Let's let Brian. Hold on, Adam. It will be an orthographic view, yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, he tried this one on me a few weeks ago, right? A video of him going out, supposedly measuring Earth curve drop with a theodolite. But what he's doing is he's taking the theodolite, he's measuring angles, and he's adding in over 6R as much as he needs for the globe, right? And he's excluding all refractive effects for a flat plane. So if you go to Walter Bislin, you know the way his perspective view shows you what it would look like on a globe, even though perspective has nothing to do with their maths, right? They exclude that, they hijack that. Their maths it's orthographic. Yet Walter Bislin wants to show you, basically, he does his best to recreate reality, call that a globe, and then put another screen, call that flat Earth, and make it look completely unrealistic. And that's what Roohif is doing with his maths. So Roohif's work is taking reality, right, adding in as much over 6R as he needs to add in to make the thing as high as he needs it to be, and then coming up with flat Earth, his own, right? No one gave him. These are his flat Earth supposed calculations, right? That don't take any refractive effects or distance or any of the rest of it into account. And he's trying to then somehow use his perspective measurement, something that isn't part of his globe, and call that globe. And he kept hassling me, saying, which one does these calculations suit or these measurements suit? A globe or a flat plane? I said, well, a flat plane, because you're measuring perspective. That's not part of your globe. And he just, this is what he did.
But he's confusing what he's doing with being for a globe. What he's actually doing is measuring a differential between eye level and where surface level appears to meet the sky with the theodolite, and then saying that drop, right, that depression angle from eye level is only because it's a sphere, but he's using level as a horizontal plane.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
So if the Earth was curving, if the Earth was a ball, it'd be like a 30 to 40 degree angle using geometry. But you don't get that. When you're at that height, you look at it and it's there. You're going to see a little bit of the bottom missing, but 30 miles. but it's still there and it doesn't curve over. There's no angle. There's no angular detection to the mountain. There's no angular detection to whatever you're trying to.
There's no angle on a sphere.
Objection. Right. He said on a globe you could get a 30-degree angle. No, you can't.
Correct. You can't get an angle on a sphere. There is no angle on a sphere.
Use your theodolite for. Now, if you're using your theodolite, which type of surveying are you using? Plane or geodetic?
Just using a theodolite.
Then you're using a flat plane as a baseline, therefore proving Earth's flat, Roohif. How's that pain relief?
Right. What are you using it for?
Measuring a flat plane, establishing a plane of reference, horizontal in nature, so you can get an angle to acquire the elevation of the mountain in this respect. That's a flat Earth proof right there. Show you're working, we'll do it for you, Roofy. Not him, you. In terms of acquisition of an angle off a globe, you can't get one.
To measure the angle to the mountain.
Yeah, you're going to need a flat Earth for that.
So plane surveying, not geodetic.
See, this numpty's just asking you about what type of surveying you're doing. Who cares? You're measuring an angle. You're establishing a horizontal baseline. You're definitely proving Earth's flat then.
I'm not doing any, so I'm just measuring the angle to
He's tying him up here. He's doing a good job here.
the mountain with a theodolite.
Right. There's
It
two
measures
different
angles.
types. There's two different types of using a theodolite, measuring with a theodolite.
No, there's just one.
A theodolite just measures angles.
Yeah, Roohif's right.
But there's a problem. Like if you're doing geodetic surveying, you're using the celestial sphere to create a globe with it, right? Which is using a flat plane and angles to the stars to find your position on Earth and create maps. So there's that one. And then there's the planar, just regular planar surveying where you're getting terrestrial heights. But both of them require a flat plane. So this is a false dichotomy.
Not just a false dichotomy, and it's you that usually points this out. A false dichotomy where both sides are actually in requirement of a flat Earth. One is simply being claimed to be a globe proof. In this case, geodesic surveying.
Absolutely.
I want to know what the angle is.
Okay, so you don't know which one you're using.
You want to know what it is? It's a flat Earth proof, stone cold.
I'm not using any particular method. A theodolite measures an angle, regardless of what you then use that angle for.
Okay. Well, I'm going to use it to prove a flat Earth, straight off the cuff. First thing we're doing, we're arguing about how we get an angle. You're going to need a flat Earth for it. It is that simple.
What is the predicted angle?
A flat Earth proof. That's what the predicted angle is. I'm going to predict you're going to need a flat Earth for it, and I'm right. You are. You're going to need Earth to be flat to acquire this height with an angle. That's what it is. There's my prediction.
I'll say it again. Roohif is trying to use perspective, measure perspective, and claim globe.
Yep.
That's what he's trying to do.
Yeah, we covered it. We did cover that, Brian. But you're right to reiterate it. I just want to point out that we've covered it so people tie back what you're saying to how we've covered it already, rather than stop you. Go ahead.
Yeah, but that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to measure perspective with a theodolite, something that can be done within the maths of his model or his paradigm, and then say, how does that work on your flat plane? No, it doesn't work at all on your, sorry?
Measures it in perspective, and then he calculates it in orthographic view. Using that perspective measurement that he's taken optically, he then instantly turns that into a perspective view angle dip to the mountain and claim that the dip generated by perspective view is Earth curve. See, this is really old, this question he has. It's an old, you said he sent it to you years ago. It's quite heartwarming, really, isn't it, that this is all they've got?
Well, what he's going to do is if the guy gave him what he would get for a globe, right? If the guy gave him what he would get, the angular size, it's total nonsense. The question he's asking is so far outside of the question that Roohif is asking this guy is so far outside of Roohif's own paradigm, it makes absolutely no globe sense. But he's putting the guy under pressure to answer a question. And even if the guy did answer what Roohif wants him to answer, what would happen is the answer that the guy would give him would be of a geometric globe.
How would it?
Right? Hang on. Because he'd be calculating for how much down behind the horizon that thing would have gone, right? And then measuring an angular size to it.
Let me know when you're done.
And that, hang on, I know what you're going to say. And then then Roohif will say, because it would not fit what Roohif has in his calculations, his works. And then Roohif will say, but you didn't add in over 6R. And Roohif will add that in and say, see, it works perfect on a globe when he's not referencing anything other than reality and trying to hijack it. He's not referencing a globe. He can't reference a globe. He's measuring perspective, and it requires a flat plane. Yes.
No, that's not what I was going to say, but yes, you are correct. But what purpose does this guy have for the Horizon to be making claims? In response, as a rebuttal, if it's a claim that Roohif is actually asserting to him as an opponent, then the response is Black Swan. If the Earth's a sphere radius 3959, every distance that horizon's got to be no more than 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. As per the mathematics in You're Begging the Question, proof of nothing, perspective hijacking Earth curve maths, and the distance to horizon in the Black Swan is beyond the geometric limitations of an Earth sphere radius 3959. Therefore, the Earth's not a sphere. And the horizon's not geometric, it's not a limitation, it's not an Earth curve. End of that argument. Further to that, in response to what you've just said, Brian, why would I be answering any questions in regards to the horizon? What claim did I make about it?
I don't think he's doing it wrong yet. I think he's just, what I've just heard, he's just demonstrated that Roohif doesn't know the difference of the two types. He's held him to it, and he's actually ridiculed him and said, so you don't know what you're doing then. That's what I've heard so far. Roofy's had to go, it's just using a theodolite. It's just that's all I'm doing. Yeah. I think he's exposing Roofy here a little bit. He hasn't necessarily gone down where we'd want him to do, but I think the way he's taken is.
If I could give a toss up, let's just lower my tone. It's you, Adam. Yeah, you're right. He is exposing Roohif, but I'd rather he was exposing how the angle used is flat Earth proof and expose how Earth is flat. As much as he's making Roohif look inadequate in his understanding of the difference between planar and geodesic surveying. Well, so what?
I think he might get there, yeah?
Okay, we'll see.
I'm being hopeful, but...
And I gave that to you. But like I said, you don't...
Show your work.
You don't understand what you're going for. Like, you don't know what surveying you're doing. There's two different types.
Again, a theodolite simply measures angles, right? Regardless of what I then do with that angle, if I have to do a geodetic survey or a planar survey, the theodolite measures an angle, right? It doesn't matter what I then do with it. What is that angle? What's the predicted angle?
The predicted angle for your globe is going to be about 30 degrees.
30 degrees. Show your work, please.
There is no work.
There is no work. So as I said at the start, this is a question of geometry.
Right. You just
and you can't do geometry.
It's a question of what?
That's a nice okey dokey guy.
Earth measurement, Adam. Geometry.
Yeah. So how's that geometric horizon working out? It's not going to be geometry, is it? Because the second he tries to strap it to a ball, he's going to go, as Brian says, 7/6, 10/6. It's no longer geometry.
Do geometry. I gave you your answer for the globe, and it doesn't work.
Show your work. The question said, show your work.
I don't have a theodolite, so I can't.
No. The geometry.
That's the right answer. How'd you do it? Show me in reality. Let's do this. Let's go out there with a theodolite and measure the angle off a flat plane.
Not the theodolite. Show your prediction using geometry.
My prediction I went through already. It'll prove a flat Earth when you take the baseline as the base for the angle. It'll prove a flat Earth. There's my prediction. What do you know? It proved it. We've been covering it for years. What's that? You're over there with Roohif. With Jeran, Roohif, right? Debating some nobody, right? There's a perfectly good platform with an open door for you here if you needed pain relief. It just wouldn't be forthcoming, would it? You need this dude.
I didn't do the work. I did the work in my head and on the computer. So
right. I think.
Would you like me to show you the work? I'll show you the work.
So you're going to use paper and geometry to prove a curve.
Yeah, he's already given his answer, and we're good there. Okay, so now Nick, you're asking your second question.
All right.
Before you go, Nathan, before we go on, how the hell is this lad Nick? How is he supposed to have all the workings of when he went out with a theodolite and did all this nonsense that Roohif did to prove the flat Earth, when He didn't do any of those things. He doesn't have a theodolite. He never claimed to have one. He never claimed to go out and do it. Roohif said, show me the work, show me your work. And he gave him a number of 30 degrees. And Roohif just doesn't like it because what he gave him was probably what he would get if he tried to calculate it for a globe, even though you can't. It's a theodolite.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
In this scenario with Jeran at the helm, you make your positive assertion. You're in the driving seat. Off you go, Roohif. Is for Roohif, or presumably any glober, their opportunity to flip the burden and put the onus for their claim onto the opponent. Now you do my work for my claim for me. Then did Jeran point that out? Did he pick up on it? Did he say, hang on a second, it's your bloody claim. Don't put the standard on him to just start proving it for you or disproving it for you. That's down to you. It's your burden. It's your claim. Don't flip the burden just because you're in the driving seat to put the onus on him to debunk your assertion. Make your positive claim, back it, and then we'll see what he's got to say about it. Don't make him do all the work for you. Now, as for the guy, Nick, yeah, you fell victim to a burden of proof reversal fallacy and started arguing about how much angle you'd get on a globe. Why did you do that? Did it concern you how things work on a globe? If Roohif managed to prove his point about what the angle should be on a globe, that's down to him to do. But he managed to flip the burden and then make you look silly when you couldn't do the maths for his claim. You didn't recognise that, did you? Now, we did. And we'd have recognised it as Roohif did it. Again, another reason that this abject, coward, pathetic, pain relief-seeking numpty named Roohif would never dare step foot in this arena ever again. Because all of this has already been pointed out to him personally by me when he did come here. But he's using the same arguments. What an abject coward. Why don't you come and try and overcome what we've already refuted this garbage with, Roohif? Like we did the first time. Oh no, you just ran away to other less experienced flat earthers, didn't you, you coward? Yeah. And who did you get to host this? Jeran? Because he's obviously not going to spot when someone flips the burden onto their opponent without actually proving it. So you can make them look silly. And then what, go on to prove the maths now in this next section? Is that what we're going to get, Roohif? You pretending to be silly with your opponent and then saying, look how well I've done the maths for the burden that should have been mine in the first place. It's just the host didn't catch it.
Whenever you're ready.
Yeah,
I would like to see his mathematics, though.
He's about to.
It was a ball. Why do all globe defenders seem to use stars?
Oh no, we're moving past that. He just got to offer it up and we didn't even get to see it. Now it's on to the second claim from this guy. My bad.
And sun and moon, in the sky to prove the floor we walk on.
Is that the end of that then? Do we not get the positive assertion about the angle proving a globe Earth made ripe? Does it not come to fruition? What the hell? What's going on? Oh, just on to the next point.
That would be a win for Roohif.
Yeah,
that's what I was about to ask. Is that considered a win for Roohif then?
What's going on? Host, Jeran? Just hand the guy the win. What about him actually proving his claim? It's just he didn't manage it when he flipped the burden. The opponent didn't manage to prove the maths that Roohif was in charge of actually putting out there, and you didn't even let him put it out there. It's just that's the end of the discussion.
Question. It's a trick question as well. That's what should have been exposed here. This is like, say, Roofy's old trick question where he takes a perspective view angle, yeah, and tries to force you to take that angle, yeah, and apply it in an orthographic way, yeah. That's what he's. And if that's the end, that is shocking. If that counts as some kind of win for Roofy, or even if it doesn't, what was the purpose of it?
It's not relevant to whether or not the discussion point was won. In the eyes of the audience, that was a win. That's why we're piping up. Now, we're obviously critiquing it based on the fact that it wasn't. But it's irrelevant because there's an audience watching, right? And the audience goes, oh, right, Roohif won that point then, didn't he? No. But that's not what the audience perceives. Well, that's entirely down to Jeran, not Roohif. Take the win, mate. In terms of pain relief, as I put it, you can have that one. Good for you.
It's nothing. Yeah, but the win is taken from nothing to do with the nature of the Earth. Yeah. The question might be loosely related to it, but the win's taken from, can you answer this geometry question, flat earther? No. That's it. It's a ball then. You can't answer this question. Not anything to do with proving anything.
Yeah, but what's after happening here is Roohif showed him all these angular size measurements and asked him, how does that work on your flat plane? Roohif, technically, the person could just stand up and go, "Thanks for the win," and walk off. Because Roohif just proved it can't be a globe because he's after measuring angular size.
Yep, exactly.
You know what I mean? That's what he's after doing. And what happened with Jeran is Jeran keeps on wanting to move everything on every 5 minutes because his standard is time, not quality. That's what's going on there. He states it himself. I like to move it on every 5 minutes. So not never gets concluded. It's all up in the air. It's all a joke.
1 second.
Okay.
At Curry's, we receive 40 hours of training.
I was going to say on that 5 minute thing, I think I could kill everything they got in 20 seconds.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you could.
Well, even if you try to take an angle from perspective and apply it an orthographic view, you still need a plane of reference to do so. So we're done.
You only needed 8.
For you to answer and share.
Cool. The answer is we don't. So all 3 of my questions to you are Earth-based, and 3 out of my 4 claims are also Earth-based. The 4th claim is celestial navigation, and that only works using the geometry of a globe.
How'd you get an elevation angle measurement from a curved adjacent?
Is he serious with that statement?
He gets to say it off the cuff without challenge. Because Jeran's not going to challenge him. He doesn't understand this stuff. He thinks you can have a GP out in space because Toon told him. And the guy who's listening to him, he's not going to have an advanced understanding of how you will require a flat Earth in the same way the angle he was just challenged on needed a flat Earth. Is he going to point out that the elevation angle measurement in celestial navigation also is the same exact angle and will also require a flat baseline? No. That's why Roohif's there. He's going to put this celestial navigation question specifically to newbie flat earther, because then he doesn't have to deal with the acquisition of an angle off a flat plane, does he? It's sad. And it makes me smile, Roohif. It really brings me joy. You pathetic weasel.
Okay. I think that's an answer, unless you have any comment on that, Nick.
I mean, I guess if you want to.
Okay.
Good.
I'm sorry, man. That was his response. Okay. I mean, I know he's not the one debating the dude, the Roofie, but come on. You really just let that slide after all this time. It's crazy. I'm sorry.
Don't be apologetic. Yeah, your reactions are completely appropriate. Go ahead, Brian.
Jeran believes that that celestial navigation can totally work on a globe. As you said, Nathan, because MC Toon told him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So he's going K because he's in agreement with Roohif.
My bad. I forgot who we're talking about. My bad. This is the guy that was mad at us for saying that celestial navigation can't work on a globe. My bad. Copy that. I got you.
Answer that. A lot of you guys do.
Point. Surely, at this point, from our knowledge, Jeran's going to agree with Roohif here.
He indirectly already has, hasn't he?
Well, he's prior to this debate, he's made the statement that you can do it on a globe.
Yeah.
It can be done.
Use the stars and moon to prove the Earth. I'm just saying.
Okay. But in your question, you said, why do all globe defenders always? They don't.
Every globe defender.
Are we going to get anything further beyond a sentence fragment out of you two numpties? Prove the Earth. What? The globers always. What? Can we have something that's a concise and clear sentence with an ending?
Defender I've come up against always do that. You're the first one that doesn't. So
does what? What?
Okay. Good. Go ahead with your second question, Roohif.
Second question.
What? Hang on. Are we going to address this celestial navigation requiring a globe? On to the next question? What the hell? Haven't we just opened with one? What's going on? Am I missing something here? Am I going nuts?
Calculate the distance between 34 degrees south, 151 degrees east, and 33 degrees south, 71 degrees west. Show your work.
Okay, so here's my
You
word.
know, the moment he says that, you need a plane of reference to get those numbers. Yeah, you're done, Roohif.
You're pretty much talking about Sydney to Chile or Santiago, wherever you're talking about.
Yep.
Globe model predicts 7,060 miles, or 11,363 kilometers.
Yep.
601.35 or 6,135 nautical miles.
One more time. We've got a bit of screaming baby action. We couldn't quite make it out.
He just gave him the celestial sphere as the globe model just then. He gave it to him.
Correct.
So, with that being said, that's on the globe model. Our Earth, our flat Earth model, it would probably be double that, because you guys always, not always, but no flight actually goes from Sydney to Chile. And if it does, you guys need to prove it. And when I say that, prove that, I believe that we only would accept like a full live stream from Sydney to Chile, right?
No,
no, I'm serious. It sounds funny, but there is no full on flight. They just, somebody in a plane, oh, I'm in Chile, or I'm in Sydney and I came from Chile. It doesn't work.
This is bad.
I'm not accepting that answer. You know what I'm saying?
Straya 2015.
Yeah, the lad, the flat earther lad, literally, he's handing Roohif a stick to hit him with. All he has to, like, Roohif didn't bring up airplanes. He did. You know what I mean? Roohif didn't do that. He just threw out a load of coordinates. Show your work. Do you know what I mean? Roohif is looking for this guy to have previously done things that he wasn't aware of, aware that Roohif was expecting him to do.
It's
Do you know what I mean?
just reified an azimuthal equidistant projection map for flat earthers, and he said that the distance would be twice as far as it would be when calculated using celestial navigation. That was the most embarrassing thing I've heard. And because he clearly didn't know, he's jumped into questioning the routes that he's just claimed. On a flat earth, it'd be about twice that distance. What are you doing, mate? Why you make that claim? Roofy's tried to trick you, and the response is there's only ball charts to work this out on. So the only solution I can give you, is by using ball charts, to apply the knowledge of the celestial navigation. But that's kind of irrelevant, because the first thing I did was take an angle from a flat plane. Where I use it after that is kind of a moot point, son.
Yeah, but I think that's a ridiculous standard of evidence.
How?
You would only accept a live stream flight, or maybe you'd only accept if you were on it.
Well, that's
you wouldn't accept.
That's
you wouldn't
if I were to, if I were to able to take that flight, I would accept it.
Yeah, but you wouldn't accept like ADS-B data, so the flight tracking data.
So no.
Why not?
Because data.
You're going to need a flat Earth for that data. Yeah, all of that information. Same as when we talk about the telemetry data that they lost. It would be proving a flat plane.
That computer can be manipulated.
No, you can listen to the data yourself with one of these. Go and get one of these.
Again, that can be manipulated.
No, you can listen to it, right? And then it tells you where the plane is. You look, there's the plane.
On a computer screen.
No, outside in reality.
Right,
you listen for the data.
But you're not going to see the plane for
yes, you
miles. You're not going to see the plane for miles. You'll see above you, but not for miles.
Yeah, and it tells you where it is. I look where it is. It's there.
Right. I understand.
Do you understand how catastrophic it would be?
Where did?
Oh, was that somebody trying to get away then?
Yeah. What the hell is Roohif going on about? What? He's talking about a flight radar type of software, yeah? That it tells you where the flight is, and you just look and see it. And the guy says, on a computer screen, and Roohif says, no, in reality. How the hell can you see, like the guy's trying to point out, how can you see a flight once it's gone over your head? That's it. You don't see it after that. After a while later, it's gone off out into the distance. You can't see it. You can't zoom to it. There's no way to see it. Your reference is a computer screen and whatever it's telling you.
No, you can see them, and if they're flying low enough, but it's still in reference to a flat plane because it's just giving you the height above that flat plane.
Oh wow!
But how is Roohif seeing the plane that's supposedly over the Pacific Ocean when he's in Sydney, Australia? How is he seeing this?
He wasn't claiming that.
But I'm pretty sure that's what he was seeing. That you can see it in reality. You can see the plane.
I think we're in the realm of silly questions right now because earlier the guy said that I need to see a full live stream of this plane flight, and Roohif asked him, "Well, you'd believe a full live stream of the plane flight, but you wouldn't believe it if you were on the plane?" Like that's the level that we're at right now. Really? Okay.
Well, with that, I'm going to say if you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley premiering streams, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, though, if you are watching this rather disjointed live stream, then this is where we bid you farewell. So another massive thank you to all of you who smashed the super chat, liked, commented, shared, subscribed, joined as a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member, and all that good stuff. Another massive thank you to today's Discord and G+ panels for making today's live show possible. Stay tuned if you're watching on an after show. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you all in the next video.
What a lovely day!